This week I recorded a webinar on 5 steps to creating great content for social media, and I thought for this week's vlog I would share one of those points, and that point is about engagement. So what follows is a snippet of the recording from this week's webinar about creating great online content, and this point is about engagement.
Step 3 then is engagement, and this is another essential part of social media because it is social media after all. Again, it frustrates me when businesses focus more on the media aspect of social media than on the social aspect of social media. You know, if you go to a party and you get chatting to someone you've just met and they essentially tell you all about their life and what they do and every last detail, and then they say it was great chatting to you and off they walk, and they haven't asked you any questions about you, they're not giving you a chance to talk, it's really antisocial, isn't it? You know, you probably have some nice choice words in your head for what you want to call that person. And that's why engagement is so important on social media, because it really helps to build that strong relationship when we engage our audience. So how can we engage our audience with our content? Well, it kind of goes in some ways back to step 2, because if you deliver what your audience want to hear, they're going to become far more engaged with it. What do I mean by engagement? I mean responding in some way. So engaging with your content is producing some form of response. So that response could be a click, it could be a like, it could be a comment or a reply, it could be a retweet or a share. You know, it could be anything that essentially they are taking an action with your piece of content. They are taking an action with your content. Now, this obviously really helps to build relationships. When you have engagement and conversation with your audience, they are far more engaged as a result. But on Facebook, it actually also affects reach. So the more someone is engaged with your content, the more likely they are to see that content. I don't know about you, but on Facebook I'm constantly seeing things from the likes of Lad Bible, and there's a reason for that. The reason for that is because so many people engage with their content that they think actually everyone's going to be interested in this, and they're more likely to show it to us. So the more people who engage, the higher reach you receive on Facebook. So how can we then engage people? Well, beyond just posting what they want to hear, we also need to ask them questions that they can respond to. The more questions we ask, the more responses we get. It's really quite simple. People love talking about themselves, so ask them questions that encourage them to do that, encourage them to talk about their lives or their business. You know, make sure you kind of end every update with a question of some sort, or at least try to, because that encourages response, encourages comments. You know, you can do things like click like if you agree. You can really kind of push them to take an action. Those actions are so important on social media. When an action is taken, then they instantly become more engaged. And as I said, on Facebook, that engagement then leads to them seeing more of your posts, getting higher reach. There's nothing more frustrating than creating brilliant content that no one sees. So engagement is absolutely essential. So ask lots of questions, deliver content that your audience wants to hear rather than what you want to tell them, and then you will definitely see an increase in your engagement.